Hello, welcome to Catalyst Happy Hourish with me, Anthony.
And me, Darren.
And we are back after a bit of a hiatus. Can we call it? Is it long enough to call it a hiatus now?
I mean, it's been 4 months.
Yeah. I mean,
we're still alive.
We're
Thanks for asking.
Here. Yeah, we were so touched by the amount of emails that came pouring in, asking, where was the podcast? Are we okay? Are we safe? I'd like to shout out to Teresa for actually asking.
She did. She did ask, and she went, are you guys ever going to do a podcast again? I keep checking, and there's nothing there.
So the question wasn't, are you and Anthony okay? Because me and, I wasn't there for Teresa to ask that. How did she know there hadn't been like a split in the Ant and Dec duo?
I think she would have found out, because that would have been a podcast of its own.
Oh yeah, we would have done one each. We're that petty. There would have been one each.
Yeah, and I would have edited both of them and uploaded them.
But no, it has been a busy 4 months for both of us. We do apologise for the radio silence, but we're here today. That's what matters. We are still going. We are still going strong. And we will get onto a bit of what our 4 months has looked like. But if within these radio silence gaps, you've come up with any questions, any comments, any concerns, if you've got complaints, then we've done really well if you're still complaining about episodes that happened 4 months ago. But you can contact us at Anthony, Darren, or info@catalystyouth.org.uk, or head to our website, which is catalystyouth.org.uk. Catalyst Youth. What's our website?
It's been so long, and we have not done anything on our website. It's catalystyouth.org.uk.
Oh, so that was right. catalystyouth.org.uk, or head over to Facebook, Instagram. You can find us there. You can find us on Twitter. I wouldn't bother with the Twitter one, to be honest. We don't use that one. We didn't use that one even when we were active. It's just there. It's just good to say we've got it.
We're on all of them.
We are. And then head back and listen to the rest of our podcast, because they were quite professional, quite in the loop, quite in the now. They're probably all out of date now,
and there's 82 of them to enjoy. So if you find yourself at a loss this Christmas and feel like, do you know what, I need a bit of decent entertainment in my life, I'm fed up with the two Ronnies because they're on every single year, I'm going to go and listen to Darren and Antony on their podcast. So go and check it out. We're on, do you know what, I don't even know where we are now.
We're on Spotify. We're on Apple.
Once during our short intermission of not being around, we decided, why are we paying for a podcast provider when we really haven't been very good at being podcast people, hosts.
Podcast people.
So we have jumped over to another host for our podcast. Don't ask me the name because I've completely forgotten it. But it's free. So we're over there now. But I believe we are on all the places that we need to be. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon, Apple, Google. So we're on all of them. So you should be able to find us. And if you listen to this, you've already found us.
Yeah, you've done well.
So congratulations.
If you do decide this Christmas season that you think, actually, I do want to listen to these two, and maybe you think to yourself, do you know the best time I really want to listen to these two is on Christmas Day? Then head over to our podcast, number 63. We have our very own Queen's speech. Oh, sorry, our very own King's speech on there.
Oh yeah, lots happened this year.
Yeah, we'll come to that. But yeah, this is no Queen's speech. It's called number 63. Listen to that while you're having your Christmas dinner. You will love it. We love recording it. I'm just scrolling through our podcast now. Number 65 was This Is Our Year. How's that gone?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going through. There are lots of different stuff on there you can listen to. Also, just head over and listen to some of our interviews with famous people. I'm going to call them famous people because they're famous people in their own right.
Yeah.
So head over and listen to them. We've interviewed people like Ben McKelvey. We have had the Abrams. We've had a guy called Bill. I mean, that one, the best title ever. How fast does a hearse go? I mean,
Yeah.
if that isn't a clincher, you
I
should.
would, yeah. Simon Thomas, he's been with
Simon
us.
Thomas, Zoe
Yeah.
B. We've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, there's lots on there. We've had other people like my wife and her friend who talked about counselling because they're counsellors, to the mental health kind of counsellors, not your local boring politic counsellors. Unless anybody is a counsellor and want to come on, then we won't say it's boring. But yes, literally, I think this should be the start of season 3, because season 2 started in September of 21. So welcome to season 3, everybody.
But season 3 may look a little different to usual, because what we were doing, you were getting a podcast every week. Then it sort of drifted, you were getting a podcast every 2 weeks. Darren and I, so that people aren't disappointed, we have decided to make a New Year's resolution that we're not even going to say to you, this is season 3 and we'll be back every week, we'll be back every fortnight. Because realistically, we won't.
Yeah, we won't.
So we're going to attempt once a month throughout 2023 with the occasional special edition thrown in, because there's a few things that we'll want to discuss and talk about as they come up.
Yeah, and if we get an interview from anybody, then obviously we'll chuck them in as well. But we're going to try and do once a month, because we feel that is a realistic goal of a youth worker, is to commit to once a month to do something. But the thing is, we've been really busy with work. If you head back to the very beginning of our podcast, we started this because we were both bored, stuck in lockdown, and needed something to do before we go clinically insane. So started the podcast. But obviously, we're no longer in a lockdown, and I'm praying and hoping we'll never, ever go back into another lockdown. So we've kind of moved back into the realm of seeing people face to face, and work commitments have taken over. And sadly, our work does not pay us to do these podcasts. No.
And I think it has become, especially in the last 4 months, it has become a lot clearer that getting Darren and I in one place at the same time, because obviously we are 4 hours apart, we're having to do this on Zoom. It has proven not as easy as we first thought.
No, it is. I've even stopped my Zoom subscription. That's how bad it's got. I'm no longer paying for Zoom because I think, hang on, I'm not using it. Why am I paying for it?
Wait, so how long have we got on?
I don't know. If it's 1-to-1, surely we get as much time as we like.
I don't know. We're going to find out if this podcast cuts out halfway through.
Yeah, I mean, at the top of the screen, it does say Zoom meeting 40 minutes.
Well, let's get on with it then.
Yeah, let's get on with
it. But no, Darren, what has I guess 4 months has passed since we last spoke on this podcast. Not since we last spoke, but since we spoke on this podcast. What has your 4 months looked like? What's been a highlight?
A highlight? Getting back to normal completely and utterly. Being really busy with stuff. We finished camp over the summer, which was an amazing camp, which you can hear more about if you just jump back to number 82 on our podcast list. Plans are already in the motion for the next camp as well. We're in discussions with that one. I'm just trying to think of a highlight that's been in the last 4 months. Going on holiday, that was quite nice. We went to Bonnie, Scotland. Nice. We stayed up in the Highlands, which was amazing. The accommodation was a bit on the, was a bit outdated. But for the price we paid, it was absolutely perfect for us because we just used it as a base and we went everywhere. We did Glasgow a couple of times because obviously we were on the Glasgow side of Scotland. So that was really good fun as a family to get away from things and have 2 weeks of just chilling out and doing things that we wanted to do.
Nice.
Spending time together. But I think the biggest highlight of the last 4 months had to be going to the travel agents and booking next year's holiday that I am so excited about. And so for anybody that doesn't know me or hasn't spoken to me, because I've told everybody now, guess where I'm going? Because I'm doing literally a holiday in a lifetime. Never in my life I don't think I'd ever get to afford to go there again. But we're off to spend 21 days in Florida in the US of A. And we've booked in for Disney and Universal Studios, and a massive highlight of going to the Kennedy Space Center as well. We've got a really nice villa with our own private pool and a jacuzzi. Nice. And it is just one of those things that we've gone all out and doing 3 weeks. I've never been on holiday for 3 weeks before, ever in my entire life. So it'd be really interesting.
Yeah, and you get camp the week before.
And camp the week before, where I've got to be wrapped up in bubble wrap because I'm not allowed any injuries or anything that will deter me from getting on an aeroplane to flying off to the US of A.
We have 9 minutes left on this meeting, apparently.
We may have to edit this and splice it together. So that I would say is the highlight of my my last 4 months. Right. Obviously, with all the other things we've been doing, within work, church-wise, Messy Church is going absolutely amazing at the moment. I can't believe how popular it is. We've got loads of people turning up, which is a blessing on the church that we're actually having people come through the doors for that.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Youth clubs are running kind of okay. We've got a few issues at the moment, but we're trying to get through that. It's just busy. And, being at college as well, that's busy. Being a chaplain there. I've started uni again. I'm in year number 2 in university.
Wondered how long it'd be before he reminds everyone he's a student.
At Cambridge, by the way. Yeah. So I've got that's still running. I decided to do year 2.
2023 is going to be the year of you talking about being a student and going to Florida, isn't it? Just 2 things over and over.
Damn right. But what about you? What has been your highlight?
Well, obviously we had summer camp. That was great. And while I am on the subject of summer camp, if any of you can remember the contact details we said at the beginning, Darren will also say them again at the end. But to help us out with summer camp 2023, if you have a favourite musical, send it across to us. All will become clear in the future. But if you have a favourite musical, send it across to us. But for me, highlight of the last few months, went to Edinburgh last weekend. That was nice to get away. We did an alpha course with one of the local secondary schools, which was amazing. Which we had a day with the year 9 students in the middle of that course, and that was fantastic. But youth group seems to have built up. Numbers have grown. It's a blessing to see that it's all growing. We've had loads over the last few weeks where we've seen friends and family and things like that. It has been a positive 4 months, but with a positive 4 months also comes a very busy 4 months because it gets booked out.
It does. And I mean, you can tell that by the amount of podcasts we've done, really, to show that, how busy we've been.
Yeah.
But it's a good busy, not a bad busy, but a good busy.
It is a good busy, and it shows you how busy we have been in the fact that we do also really enjoy doing these podcasts, and the fact that they are what has basically been put on the back burner it shows.
Yeah, and we said, I think we spoke a few weeks ago actually, and said, right, we need to do a podcast before Christmas. I think that's been one of those that we need to get it in, and this was booked in for the week leading up to Christmas. So we're recording this on Tuesday, the 20th of December. The only kind of week where everything's gone quiet now, everything's closing down for Christmas, for New Year. And it's like, quick, let's chuck in a podcast while we've got some time before we then become really busy again and it all goes to pot. Yeah,
and it is a strange one, isn't it, with youth work in the church, because December is a manic time. It is so busy. And then the 1 week that you expect to be the busiest isn't.
No.
It's the quietest one because there is things planned. Like yesterday we had our Messy Church at our church. Friday we got our crib service. Sunday we got the Christmas Day service. But because they're on certain days, the rest of the time is a bit more of a time of now's our time to stop and refresh and
reflect on the year that's gone by and to see what we can do differently.
Exactly like we are doing on this podcast.
Yeah, it is. It is madness leading up because, for me, I had we do a yearly nativity service, so it was getting that, and then it was cancelled, and then it actually happened again because of the really bad weekend we had of ice. Our local gritters decided they didn't want to grit the roads or anything, so it was like an ice skating rink in the centre of town. And it was a nightmare because it kind of like went, right, okay, we're going to have to cancel because it's unsafe. The centre of town literally was an ice skating rink. People were posting about it on Facebook and saying, don't bother going into town unless you want to sit on your butt for the entire time because it was that slippery. So we kind of make a decision of going, right, okay, let's cancel it. And then the sun came out and started melting it. And it was actually, we can actually do it. So where the service should have been at 10:30, we ended up doing our nativity service at 11:30.
Right.
So it was all up in the air, all chucked around, but the kids got to perform, which is amazing because they've spent the last X amount of weeks rehearsing every single Sunday to actually perform to the rest of the church. And last Sunday we had a joint service. And then followed by that, we had a carol service. We've got another carol service coming this Friday in the afternoon or the evening. Can't remember.
Which does remind me. So your carol service would be happening today. Is it coming out on Friday?
I don't know. We haven't decided, have we? So the carol service will happen today. So head over to the Facebook page to find out times. I think it's the evening one. And then we've got obviously a Christmas Day service on Sunday.
Nice.
So it is a busy time, but it's not a busy time. I think it's been a busy time leading up to like last weekend. Yeah. And then this week is kind of that drop, and it's kind of like, right, now's the time, as you said, to reflect on everything and just then start preparing for next year, really, for the next year ahead.
That's the thing. And I think the reason it's so busy the last couple of weeks is because we're planning for our youth groups to finish. We're planning for all these services. So when this week gets here, whereas usually we'd have like schools work as well, we've been planning for the youth group that week. This time, everything's planned for. It's all just happening.
Yeah, it's all running, doing its thing. And you kind of take a step back now and just chill out and think about everything. I know that, for me, this week is my year to plan the entire year for next year.
Yeah.
So I look at all the Sundays and make sure we've got cover and look at all the topics we've got to cover, sort out my diary. And it's just a time of literally a lot of computer work.
Yeah.
To get sorted for next year because, come Friday, I'm on annual leave and I'm not back then until January. And I don't want to be starting January going, what the heck am I doing for the rest of the year? I want it to be done. It's an easy week.
Yeah, it's a nice week. It's a good week. That doesn't take away though from the fact that it is still a busy time. And it's good that it's a busy time because we did have, as we said earlier, we had the lockdown, we had the year and a half or 2 years, whatever it was, where things weren't normal. So we are now fully back to normal. Everything is going well and going positive, which is brilliant. But it doesn't stop us from having social time, which is good. So obviously, for anyone that has listened to our podcast in the past, you know that Darren and we talk heavily about films, about music, about TV, about books, about whatever it might be. So Darren, in the last 4 months, are there any films that you would recommend that you have seen?
Oh, wow. Do you know what? I have watched so many films recently. I've kind of jumped back in. I've taken a break from, I'm going to mention it again, being a student.
Oh, yeah.
I've got 3 essays due in January. However, I have, just caught up on some movies and bits and pieces that I, really wanted to see. We went to the cinema. When did we go to cinema? A couple of days ago, and went to watch Matilda.
Oh, we really want to see that.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, I do prefer the stage show because I absolutely love the stage show, but you will not be disappointed going to watch Matilda. And yeah, it was a really, really good movie, and they've done it well. You know
Yeah.
when it's because obviously Matilda is a massive book, and then
Yeah.
suddenly it goes on to the TV as just a bog standard movie, really good movie, and then it then gets made into a musical, which amazing,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing musical. And then
Really
when
is.
they say, "Oh, we're going to chuck it in as a movie musical," and sometimes things get lost,
Yeah.
but it didn't. It was
That's good.
just really, really good, and highly recommend it to anybody that's is just thinking about going. Definitely go and watch it.
Yeah.
But I have watched things. I've done loads. There's a movie called Misfits on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Good movie. It's got Pierce Brosnan in. Really good movie to watch. I'm literally just going through the list of things that I've watched. If I can find it. What else have I watched?
See, for me, the problem is I'm now trying to think when we last did this, what has been out since? And I'm going to attempt to answer it, but who knows?
Yeah, I watched King Arthur, Legend of the Sword,
Oh, yeah,
finally.
that's
I mean, it's been out since 2017, and
yeah,
but it's one of those I've not got around to watch because that has been killed. There have been so many movies about King Arthur, but actually, what
it
a
wasn't
movie!
bad.
It
Yeah.
was really good, and I really enjoyed it. I can't see what I've been watching. There are so many other different movies out there that I've watched.
What that?
One thing I am looking forward to in 2 days' time, Top Gun, coming onto Paramount Plus.
Have you got Paramount Plus?
I have indeed.
Of course you have. How many people can you have logged in?
I don't know, but I'll send you our login details.
Okay.
So looking forward to that coming out on the 22nd. Mainly because I've just not had the time to go to the cinema to watch it.
Well, funnily enough, I've got it here. My number one film I was going to recommend is Top Gun Maverick, and that's why I was trying to work out when we last spoke. So we obviously haven't spoke about it. So yeah, Top Gun Maverick, I would recommend. Great film.
Yeah, that's obviously if you got Paramount Plus, you can watch that for free on the 22nd. There's a new series coming out. Really looking forward to Jack Ryan. The new season of that is coming out.
Yeah, I haven't watched that.
I believe it's next week.
Okay.
I want to say. What other movies have I watched? Yeah, I have watched a lot.
That's pretty good though. You've recommended three. That gives people enough to go away with. So you recommended Matilda, Misfits, and King Arthur.
King Arthur. Christmas movie, right?
Uh-huh.
Watched again. It's never going to get old, and that was Elf.
Yeah.
It was on the TV the other day. Absolutely love Elf. One of those that will get you in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah,
definitely, 100%. I can't see. I don't know if there's anywhere on Amazon Prime that can actually show you what you've been watching.
I don't think there is.
No, which is a shame. What about Disney Plus? Because I've got all of them for some reason. Some of them I've got by accident because I forget to cancel the subscription, and suddenly I'm like, why has 50 odd quid come out of my account? Oh, I've just paid for another year of Disney Plus or whatever. Well, that's one thing about King Arthur that I did not realise, right? Then it had what's his name in the footballer?
Jude Law.
No, the footballer.
Vinnie Jones.
No.
Which footballer?
I can't think of his name. David Beckham.
Oh,
I was like, what? Because I didn't look at who was in it, and suddenly he popped up on the screen. I'm like, mate, you definitely can't act. He was horrendous at acting, and I don't know if it's because you obviously know him as, as David Beckham, the footballer. But that was quite comical to watch. Yeah, I think in a minute we'll talk about things that are coming out soon because there's a couple of things that I want to chuck in the mix.
We'll come to coming soon.
See, this is what we need to talk about more often. Is like movies and like this really gets my passion going. So go on, what sort of things have you?
We'll come to coming soon. I mean, I'm going to be very quick on films because I haven't seen loads this year. I haven't seen loads this year, but especially in the last 4 months. But Top Gun Maverick, I would definitely recommend. And the other one is called The Banshees of Inisherin, which was fantastic. And it is coming to Disney Plus tomorrow. So for those of you listening on Friday, it was put on Disney Plus on Wednesday, so it should be available there now. But that was fantastic. Very dark comedy. So depending on what age you are listening to this, please double check that you are able to watch it first. But other than that, I haven't really seen any films in the last 4 months that I can really think of. I must have, we must have watched things on Netflix and stuff like that. But I can't think of it. I mean, I'm going to do exactly what you did and load it up here.
Okay. Well, if you've been, I forgot what I was going to say then. There is a film out, I can't remember what it's on now, called Spirited.
Oh, yeah. That's on Apple TV.
Apple TV, guys. It's based on Scrooge. And yeah, we sat down to watch it. Sarah doesn't like the story of Scrooge. I don't know. I think she hates Charles Dickens. What can I say?
That's ridiculous.
But
Sarah, if you're listening,
but really enjoyed that movie.
Does she not like the Magic Sisters Carol then?
No, I don't think she does.
That.
But yeah, Spirited, I can highly recommend as well. That's on, what did you say it was on? Disney? Apple TV. And it's also in the cinemas as well. If you haven't got Apple TV, you can go and watch it. Yeah, it's I saw it being advertised at our local cinema. And also with Matilda, if you don't want to fork out to go and watch it in the cinema, it will be coming to Netflix next year sometime.
Next summer, yeah.
So you can watch it then, which will be really good for those of you that, because obviously the cinema is really expensive. And also I got to experience last weekend, I'm sure it was the weekend we went, the new cinema in Bridgewater. We've got a brand new cinema. Lovely, mate. Absolutely lovely. And it's also got a private VIP area where you can hire out a cinema room with reclining chairs or sofas, the whole shebang.
Okay.
So, depending on price, Brendan wants his next birthday at the cinema. But it's also got a bar in our cinema as well now, which is really cool. So you can get a pint and watch a movie. But you don't need a pint. You don't need alcohol to watch a movie, but it's quite a nice little option.
Nice addition. But I mean, we will come in soon, but I think before we do, let's stick along with what we've watched. And I'm going to make the question shorter so that we don't talk about it as much.
Yeah.
But if you had to recommend 2 TV series that you have watched in the last 4 months, 2, yeah.
Okay, 2 TV series. Let's go for Slow Horses on Apple TV. Okay. It is a program series about spies. Really good to watch. It's got some really good people in. I can't remember their names off the top of my head.
Oldman, isn't it?
Yeah. Really good. We're on season 2 at the moment. But season 1 is also on there if you want to jump back and watch that one. The other one at the moment I am quite enjoying it. I'm going to say another 2. I'm sorry. Echo 3 on Sky, on TV, Apple TV. Really good to watch. It's got what's his face, the singer.
It's going really well.
I can't think of his name. I don't want to click on it because I know it'll start playing. But I know who I mean. Go and Google it. And the other one that I do recommend, which is on Discovery Plus, which is Richard Hammond's Workshop, as a complete different to those other 2. And he started up his own workshop restoring vintage cars, and it's his own business that he's pumped loads of money in. Highly recommend going to watch that. Season 1 is already on there. Season 2 is currently being done and being released weekly. So recommend if you're interested. If you're like a Top Gear fan, that sort of thing. That's one of the shows I recommend you watch.
Well, that was a quick fire snappiness. I am just going to do two because I heard the question and I heard myself say two.
I mean, I hear you, but I ignore you.
But for me, the two that I watch, the first one on Netflix is the TV series Wednesday, the new Addams Family one. That was amazing. We loved it. We really, really enjoyed that one, and would highly recommend. Even if you don't like the Addams Family, it's a really good, like, bit of a frilly crime type of program, which is good. And the other one is SAS Rogue Heroes on BBC iPlayer, which was very, very good.
Can't wait for season 2.
Yeah, it was great. They're my two.
I mean, the beauty of the SAS Rogue, was it Rogue Heroes?
Yeah.
Is that they were all released in one dump on iPlayer, so you could binge it, which was really good. Or if you haven't got the iPlayer, you could see them each week. They were being chucked onto BBC. But yeah, really enjoyed that.
It was really good.
The thing is, there are so many TV shows out there at the moment. Like, good TV has returned.
Oh, it has. It has. Everything seems to be working, and they seem to have filmed more and got it out. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm just skimming through some of the TV shows that I've been watching, and yeah, I've got quite a few to catch up on, or to keep going through. Like at the moment, I'm late to the party, I know, but The Walking Dead.
Oh, we're on the last series of that.
Well, I'm on series 3, episode 10 at the moment.
It gets hard work.
But there was a film on Apple TV, Raymond and Ray.
Okay. I haven't watched that yet.
Interesting movie. I wouldn't say it was the best movie in the world, but possibly something that you could watch. I still need to complete watching Mammals on Prime. I'm on episode 2 of that one. Again, it's that sort of thing that of just trying to find time. And like Mythic Quest season 2's out. I've been watching that one.
Series 3 of Mythic Quest is out now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So I'm way behind. I'm on series 2, episode 8.
But okay, let's talk then about what is coming soon. What are you excited for coming soon, film or TV? Let's not do it in 2 sections.
Ooh, Jack Ryder.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that coming soon. I'm gonna have to Google because there are so many.
Shall I kick us off on this one?
Go for it.
I have managed to remember a couple of films that are coming out. I'm excited for the 5th, and I really hope final outing for him, but is the new Indiana Jones.
I think, the poor guy's going to be dead soon, and they're still going to release a movie with him in it.
Yeah. So that, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
The new animated one. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. There are so many films, I think, coming out in 2023 that are going to be absolute hits. But then when we look at TV, there's like new series of Sex Education, there's new series of You, there's things like that. But the one that I am most looking forward to, well, actually, no, there's 2 that I'm most looking forward to. So the first one is called Beyond Paradise, and it is the Death in Paradise spin-off. And it is about Chris Marshall's detective, and he's now in Cornwall.
Oh.
Yeah, so that is coming, along with the new series of Death in Paradise. The Christmas special is on Boxing Day.
Interesting.
But then the other series that I'm really looking forward to, because I loved it when it was originally out, and I think it's coming early January at some point, but it's the brand new series of Waterloo Road.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to that one because, as I say, loved that when it was first out. My only concern is, number one, there's only 7 episodes, which is really frustrating considering Waterloo Road at one point got up to like 21 episodes per series or something. But the other thing is, I don't know if they'll get away with half the stuff they used to be able to do. So I don't know if it'll work now. Like they had hard hitting storylines and stuff.
Yeah.
So
we will see. We will see.
I mean,
some of the things that I just Googled to see what's coming up, and things like The Mandalorian, new season of that will be coming out. New season of Loki will be coming out, which I'm really looking forward to those two. Again, Umbrella Academy, I've got a new series of that coming in 2023. There was another one I saw, Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Loved the first one, so it'd be really good to see that. When it comes to movies, again, Indiana Jones, Chapter 5, Episode 5, whatever they're going to be calling it there. Look, I am looking forward to that coming out to see. Just to kind of see, really. That's all I can say. We've got things like John Wick. There's a new John Wick movie coming out, which looks really good. If you're keen on the Fast and the Furious franchise, again, I mean, what was the last one? They went to space?
Yeah, but...
So perhaps they're going into a black hole and never come back again, because they are killing it.
This one is Fast 10 and Fast 11. It's a two-parter, but it is the last ones. So it's nice to hear they finally said, we're done. Well,
I mean, I thought they were done after like 3, but I was proved wrong.
Although saying that, Fast 5, that is one of the best ones.
I gave up watching, mate.
No, you're missing out. Fast 5 is a great film.
Another movie, Super Mario Brothers, the movie. That looks quite good to watch.
I am...
dubious.
Why is Mario not Italian?
I know nothing. Apologies to any of you guys from Italy. One thing, Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah.
Really interested to see what they've done there in that movie. I mean, these are some of the movies hopefully we'll try and watch and kind of report on next year if we can. What was the other one I saw? There's another Transformers movie coming out next year.
Just while we talk Dungeons and Dragons, by the way, just another one to chuck out there. If you guys haven't watched it yet, but I imagine if you're a fan, you probably have watched it, because where have you been? Stranger Things Series 4. Unbelievable.
I've not watched any of the Stranger Things.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But they play Dungeons and Dragons in Series 4, which and the other series as well, but that's what reminded me.
It is on my watch list eventually to
You'll love it. I'm shocked that you haven't watched it.
I will. Do you know what? I will put one on in a minute whilst I'm working. How's that?
You should.
New Aquaman is coming next year as well. I can't think what it says. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
And for anyone that is going to watch Aquaman, if you jump back in our podcast, listen to our interview with Josh Witchard. He wasn't allowed to tell us exactly what film he was in, but apparently it was about people in the water and fish people, and it was quite a big superhero one. So we're going to hazard a guess at Aquaman 2.
Just saying. We've interviewed that guy. And there was one other that I saw. Disney movie, Elemental, is coming as well. Looks really good. Saw a clip of it at the cinema when I was there watching Matilda. So there's lots coming next year, and those are just a few of them that we've quickly glanced over using the internet. Like I've just seen another one, Equalizer 3. So yeah, there's not. Thing is, we went through a time where there was hardly any movies coming out because lockdown stopped all recording.
Yeah.
And suddenly they are being pushed out really, really quickly now, and there are so many movies next year. So we may just have to do a different podcast and just do movie reviews with Catalyst Youth.
Why not? Why not?
And if anybody wants to sponsor us, for us to go to the movies, that'd be really cool.
But there is a lot coming, and we'll continue to try and talk about them as they come and as they go. But it should be a good year.
Right.
You just found another one, haven't you?
No, I've just seen another one. I thought, what's that? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Is it some sort of horror movie?
Yeah.
What have they done to poor Winnie the Pooh? Anybody listening, literally go and Google it, and then you'll see what I've seen. I'm like, that's not Winnie the Pooh.
No, if you're under 18, maybe don't Google it.
You'll probably see it anyway. But yeah, loads of different movies. So Yeah, tune in next year when we will be chucking in, I'm sure, a few of these movies that we've been to watch.
I'm sure we will, and and so much more. I mean, we're probably coming to a close now, but we will, as I say, try and be here every month, and we will try and review and talk about these types of things. But we also want to still talk to people, so we want guests. Ben McKelvey is still releasing stuff. Hopefully, we will get to finally see him at some point next year and review his show, as he's wanted us to do in the past.
He was over in Nashville, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, he's all over the place. Doing really well. Did some shows as well, just him, which was really good to see.
He had to cancel a couple, so hopefully
we will get to go to one of them. We will get to go to one of them. He's already said that you guys want to come. He'll put tickets at the door, which I just think it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's who you know. But we will, and we will hopefully have more guests on. We'll have more conversations throughout the year. But it's been good to be back, and
it is.
Hopefully,
one thing before we vanish off, because we've covered TV and we covered movies, music quickly.
Oh, okay.
Best album that you think of 2022, sorry, gone back a year.
2022 best album for me would probably have to be a band called Def Havana. So DEAF Havana. And it's called The Present is a Foreign Land. I would say that is my album of 2023, without a doubt. What about yours?
Well, my album is one that I bought recently. And it is Scouting for Girls live at the Trinity. And I got copy number 324 out of 500, signed. Just chucking that in there. I just think just trying to put it back. I think that's got to be my album so far. But Off the Cuff album was sent to me this morning by a very good friend of mine, and that was Jason Manford, Assembly Bangers. I have now got. He is just. He's read my mind. This should have been done years ago. Especially
so good.
For those people that are old enough to remember, years and years ago, assemblies used to always have Christian music. It was part of assembly. It was part of curriculum, the whole shebang. We've moved on from there to into a different time. But if you are probably older than, if you're, what would you say? 30 plus?
Yeah. No, because I remember doing them.
You're from the backwards school of,
I reckon 25.
25 plus, and if you remember singing the Christian songs in assemblies, like, Give Me All in My Lamp, Keep It Burning, the whole shebang, head over to Spotify or wherever you get your music from and just put in Jason Manford Assembly Bangers, I think he's called it.
Bangers.
And just listen.
Track 6, Shine Jesus Shine. Come on.
Yeah, and also he is raising money for the Trussell Trust. Yes. There is one song, and it's a collaboration of a load of them, a remix of a load of different ones, raising money for them. So go and download it, play it, however they work out what's number one nowadays. No idea anymore. But make sure you go and play it.
Definitely.
So he gets the recognition and money is raised for them. And also Lad Baby has brought out a Christmas song. And can I just say I'm highly disappointed. I actually thought he was going to get real. If I'm spoiling it for anybody that's not seen it, I thought he was actually getting actual stars. And to find out that it's just a bunch of impersonators was just.
I haven't listened to it.
Song's all right.
Yeah, I struggle with the Lad Baby ones, but we won't. We haven't got time to discuss.
It was disappointing, but definitely recommend Jason Manford's Assembly Bangers. Go and have a listen. Put it on in your car, put it on in your house, turn it up loud, and just remember when you were 7, sat in the hall. For me, I remember these songs from using the overhead projector and moving the little plastic acetate down where the words were. That is just my memory of singing in assembly back in the day.
I remember in our assembly, we sang some of these, and then for some reason, still to this day, I can't remember why, but the final song that we sang in assembly that day was "Is This the Way to Amarillo?" So why not?
I did not have that. I did not have that in my school. And I think on that note, let's find our way to Amarillo and get out of here. Don't forget, you can visit our website at www.catalystsyouth.org.uk. Don't forget, you can email us at Anthony, Darren, or info@catalystsyouth.org.uk. I'm not saying we'll be back next week, but we'll be back next month. At some point.
Have a great Christmas.
Yeah, have an amazing Christmas. Enjoy spending that time with family. I hope that you have an amazing new year as well, whatever your celebrations look like. What are you doing for New Year? You got parties going on? You got family coming on for Christmas?
We are at a friend's house for New Year. We have a pajama and wine party because we're that age now.
I don't think I've ever been to a pajama party with wine.
Well, the reason is because we did a wine and cheese party last year, and the girls all decided they wanted to wear pajamas. So this year they just put the invite out as a pajama and wine party. So wine and cheese mainly, watching the fireworks.
Sounds good. Family Christmas. Family Christmas.
My Christmas. I am with George's family this year for Christmas.
Nice.
And then George's birthday on Boxing Day. So
lovely.
It'll be a nice time. How about you?
New Year, no plans. I think it's just going to be the normal. We're at home. We'll have a couple of drinks, see the new year in, and hopefully wish that next year is a better year than this year. We had a really tough year.
Yeah.
And Christmas is we're off to the pub again
Nice.
for Christmas dinner. Mother-in-law's no different pub this time. Couldn't get in that one. And then this we've got mother-in-law for Christmas. I think we're off to my brother's on Boxing Day, and I think my sister's coming over on New Year's Day. So we've got all family stuff, which I think that's what Christmas is all about, really, is spending time with family and enjoying this season of festivities.
Love it.
Love it.
And then obviously church Sunday morning. So.
And obviously chucking in a bit of church here and there, as you do. So thank you so much for joining us. As always, or as we used to do, it's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from him. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.